Mila 9 and 4, I welcome you to the library. In this entry, we will be covering Cryst, Crystech, and the celestial elements. Please note, as always, this is just an introduction to these fundamental forces of the realms, to be explored further in future entries. With that said, let us move on to the celestial elements. These four forces and their interactions make up and govern all known matter and energies within the realms. While Cryst is by far the most common, it is, as stated, only one of four, with the others being Aether, the celestial force of creation, used to conjure objects and defensive magics of incredible strength and resilience, and sometimes even multiples thereof, depending on the working in question. Next, we have Temporsis, the celestial force of time and its myriad uses and manipulations, most often used to speed the casting of magics or to strike those who can not be there, when a blow would otherwise strike true. It is the rarest of the celestial elements to manifest physically. Our next celestial element is Void, the celestial force that embodies not destruction, as is the common understanding, but instead entropy itself, used to bypass defenses and even immunities. Very little save Aether can defend properly from attacks enhanced with its energies. It should be noted, however, that Void and Aether energies are direct, polar, and fundamental opposites, and anything that attempts to use both at the same time had best be crafted by the most skilled and learned of craftsmen or technicians, for even a small miscalculation can result in explosive annihilations, as the energies cancel each other out. The same is equally true in its use in magic. And finally, of course, we have Cryst, the celestial force of reality. It is the purest form known of energy, and can be substituted or converted into nearly any other known form of energy with but the proper knowledge, equipment, and a bit of luck. It is, by far, the common element and most readily known and available of the four celestial elements, especially in the most common physical manifestation, simply called Cryst. So what is this physical manifestation? How does it occur? And what is it used for? We shall cover that in brief presently. Cryst forms from the residual energies left behind when the animus, or the soul of a being, leaves its body on its way to whatever afterlife it is destined to. It isn't part of the soul in any way, just a condensation of power into small, gem-like, multifaceted crystal called Cryst. The Cryst will form in any space large enough to do so in the body of the now deceased being. However, as this is as likely to be the creature's stomach as an accessible space such as the mouth, a large amount of Cryst that manifests sublimates soon after, as the acids of the being's digestive tract compromise the crystalline form and release the energies within in a harmless fluff of various other energies. If no space for formation is available within the being, the energy will just dissipate harmlessly. Most beings will leave behind Cryst of varying grades, or types, depending on a number of factors, age, size, and relative power being but a few. Such manifestations are not guaranteed, occurring in perhaps 1 out of 10 deaths, with a higher rate in larger, more powerful, or older beings. Type 1 are the smallest of the Cryst, and thus the most common, approximately 1 inch in diameter. With each type larger and all readily identifiable, as Cryst will only form in these precise sizes naturally. Type 5 is the largest of the common Cryst types, a whopping 5 inches in diameter. Each larger type contains a larger amount of energy and thus can be used for larger works. Beyond the 5 standard types, there is what is known as an Cryst, a perfectly smooth sphere measuring 7 inches in diameter, and is beyond rare. Beings capable of leaving such a rare object are typically powerful in the extreme, thus proving hard to get to vacate this life to leave behind such a treasure. Each of the celestial elements manifests crysts of their own energy and type. Aether crysts tend to be left by spirits of nature or creation, while void crysts are left by beings of death, entropy, or the doomed defiance thereof, such as the undead. Chronocrysts, the rarest of all, are left by those rare creatures who are tied to time itself, or suffused with the energy of Temporsis. How these crysts are used to create and power all the various wonders and conveniences seen across the realms is a rather large, multidisciplinary set of knowledge collectively known as Crystech. However, simply explained, Cryst can be alloyed with other materials, creating highly durable and fairly highly conductive wires, as well as being able to be formed or shaped to be able to replicate a numerous amount of effects, magical or not, when they are properly powered. Each of the 5 types of Cryst have their limits to the amount of energy they can store or use at a time, and the combination of which allows the skillful Crystech engineer to create wonders both great and small. From a fireplace grill that absorbs a portion of the heat and light of the fire, to power a water generator and perhaps a food creator for a small household, to mighty starships that fly the vast distances between the realms, or even the simple batteries that are used to contain energy that can power all of the above devices, Crystech is at use. With that brief introduction concluded, by the 9 and 4, be well, take care of yourself and each other, and I shall see you on your next visit to the library. Until then.